This is Tony Man reporting from Niagara. Right? All right. We're here to celebrate the life of Jerry Adams. Bodyguard, security man, lovely guy. Dear friend to many, many people all around the world, actually. I used to make clothes for Joey Ramone, and I would see him often. I want to send my love out to Jerry's friends and family.
All right. Hey, everybody. My name's Hammer, and we are here today for gathering of friends in remembrance of Jerry Adams, who was a buddy of all of ours that we all worked with him at different spots or became friends with him at different spots. And pretty much, I believe everybody who's worked with him in the past has always remained a friend of his, and I have a feeling it's going to be a pretty interesting day. We're over here at Niagara in Lower East Side, Alphabet City, and we're going to be doing some stories and some memories about Jerry inside, and we're getting set to go in there now and set up a microphone and just start doing it. So I hope everybody who's watching stays watching, and if you're a friend of Jerry's and you can't make it, hope this suffices for you. Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Talk to the people.
Talk to the people about a gathering for the legend that is Jerry Adams. I mean, what can be said? This is his city, this is his people, and we wish he was here. You know, I don't know where I'm looking now. So,
I'm showing you that you're on.
it's all good. No, very good. But it's a sad gathering for us old people that are still left, you know, but saying the object is to be the last one standing to raise the glass for your brothers and sisters that went before you. And I'll have a drink in my hand. I can light a joint, you know, that's better fitting, right? We can't get in trouble anymore, right? There you go, for Jerry and all of us.
Left to mourn him.
Beautiful day, and we wish he was here, and we wish more people were here. Melina, Big Steve, everybody from the old days. This one's for all of them. Okay, nobody else, but blessed day. Everybody remember Jerry. I love you all.
Sort of the summer, I guess.
Yeah.
What's this for? What's he talking about?
Doing like a tribute to Jerry with live bands and things.
Okay.
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
Me and Stephen Z and Mike
Yeah.
Lawler are
Okay.
putting it together. We don't have a date yet, but it will happen.
Okay.
There'll be
I will-
lots of bands. There'll be like a video and photo tribute.
Jerry Fest.
Basically,
Right? We had the cool retirement event for Jerry at the bitter end that was
Yes, we did.
really beautiful. A lot of cool people came out. That was nice.
I did a video from that.
okay.
Right. There you go. Jerry So that was nice. But, you know, sad he's gone, but a lot of people love Jerry. Lovable guy, so.
I'm hoping that people will come up and share stories and memories that they remember about Jerry. And I just wanted to say, thinking about this, I didn't even realize it until today, that it's kind of appropriate that next weekend is Memorial Day weekend, and here we are now, and this wasn't planned as that, but here we are, and I just think it's appropriate. And I think Jerry would be honored if he saw how many of his friends were here right now. So I thank everybody for coming to this today, and like I said, I'm sure he's watching. So I don't know who would like to come up and say something first. Mike? All right.
As most of you know, Jerry was one of my closest friends for like 50 years. The way I met him, I was playing. I was playing the Great Gildersleeves, and our friend Big Steve was the doorman. So I'm at the door talking to Steve, and this tow truck hits me, knocks me on my ass, and it was Jerry Adams. That's my introduction to Jerry Adams. And I can't get any louder than that.
Actually, if I don't use the mic, you might hear me.
Anyway, so we did probably a few hundred shows over the years.
I got no control over the volume. How's this? Is this better? All right. I'm always yelling at people, and I get yelled at for yelling at people.
Oh. All right. Thank you, Jolly. All right, where was I? I started working with him at the Ritz because he wanted to replace himself. Whoa. He wanted to replace himself. He wanted to quit. So he replaced himself with me. Then I wound up moving up. And oh my God, it's Mike Maeda. Speaking of the Ritz. Speaking of Lions Den. Oh my God. Yeah, we started Lions. The what? Okay. All right. We started Lions Den. That doesn't help. We started Lions Den. It was me, Jerry, and Stephen Z. It was called A to Z Rocks originally. And then I wound up building more of the club than what they had. So I wound up kind of taking over as manager. And, I was there for 21 years. Jerry left after probably 15. And, we did a ton of shows. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, then Peter started working with us. And then it was just Jerry and me and Peter.
And Val.
And Valentino. I cannot leave him out. Valentino. Greatest bass player alive. Well, we were in a band. I should have actually given this a little more thought. Because I've got a million stories and now I can't think of any of them. Oh, well, after he hit me with the tow truck, he felt bad and took me to the nursery, which was a infamous after hours at the time. So we became friends. We didn't really start hanging out for another 2 or 3 years after. That was in '76, mind you. I don't think you're going to be able to yell this loud. I know.
Honest, he's not cheating the sound. It's just not loud enough.
I know. I tried that. It didn't get any louder. The mic was actually impeding my vocals. I wound up doing jams at various different places. Every time Jerry booked a place, or I would do the jams afterwards, which could be a blessing or a curse.
We did it for 7 years.
And we did that for 7 years. One time, at our first anniversary, Jerry booked 16 bands. 16 bands. And Ace Frehley got up and played, and then I got up and played and did a jam. I mixed 16 fucking bands and then played. Thank you, Jerry. Yeah, he had this notion that if the more bands he booked was the more people in the room. It was, but none of them were paying for anything. But no, it worked out. Well, I'm gonna hand the room to Peter. All right. Well,
See if that's any better.
that might be better.
It ain't on the wall.
Not on the wall, right? All right. Here you go. And I think Jolly would like you to have this.
Oh, okay. Am I all technical now? Can anybody hear this shit? All right, I guess as you all know, Jerry was one of my closest friends for more than 40 years. The amount of shows we did together, every one of you has been there at some place or other that we did. The Lion's Den, Sullivan Hall, Kenny's Castaways, The Bitter End, and so many more. Now, I don't know, I first met Jerry in the early 80s when he came walking into It's Only Rock and Roll, and after talking for 5 minutes, he said, anytime you want to come to the Ritz, just ask for me. I was connected anyway, but the amount of people we met together, the adventures we went on, too many to remember, even though there's a few that really stand out. Like Michael said, all those years of the Monday Night Jam, where we'd have to throw 50 people out at 4 in the morning, and then to the loft. All the people I met with Jerry. Jerry introduced me to Tina Turner on the night that she became a star, which was at the Ritz. We all got in our Churros limo with Lemmy to head down to the Scrap Bar. Going to Joey Ramone's apartment was more than an adventure. I gave up after 10 or 12 times when the ADD got to him, but Jerry was always there. And there's some real good stories we could tell about Jerry and Joey. We'll be doing that again on Monday at the annual Joey Ramone Birthday Bash. John Holmstrom, who you might know from Punk Magazine and other cool shit, putting together a tiny little video tribute to David Johansen, Clem Burke, Jerry, and now Mike Peters. So we got a little something planned for that, but it's really great to see all these old faces here tonight. It was really hard to get here today, but I made it. And to Lucy, we all love you, and I'm so glad you made it. Yeah. I hope everybody here got to meet Lucy. And if you haven't, you should. All right, I'm going to let the Hammer take it over again. I'm sure we'll tell a lot more stories tonight.
Thank you, Peter.
All right. Unclip me.
All right, who would like to come up next?
Tony Mann.
Hey everybody, my name's Tony Mann, and Jerry was a friend of mine for many, many years. I used to make clothes for all the bands in the East Village, and one of the guys was Joey Ramone. So I saw Jerry often because he'd be over at Joey's, or he'd come pick stuff up with me or take us to a show or whatnot. But Jerry was a wonderful person. I met so many people because of Jerry. He really kept the community together. He had a big heart. He was a gentle giant. I really miss him.
I'm glad that Peter was able to be here and speak, and they had a great retirement party for Jerry where we all got to speak to him and see him over at the Bitter, and that was beautiful. And it's really funny because Joey Ramone was a really, really very nervous, self-conscious person, and Jerry Adams had such a calming, cool effect that he was the perfect guy to be around Joey. And I would see him with Lemmy or at the Ritz or wherever, and Cat Club, and he would often get us into a show or introduce us to whoever. And the people I would see him with sometimes would just be miraculous, like he'd be with Freddie Mercury all of a sudden or somebody like that, okay? So he could be cool, unobtrusive, and he was a perfect security guy. I really never even saw him raise his voice or anything, but I'm sure he could. But personally, he just kept everybody cool, kept things flowing, and he was a lovely guy. I really think of him often, and I'm glad everybody came out to remember Jerry. We'll never forget Jerry. We love Jerry Adams. Come on, yeah. All right, that's about it. I don't want to take up any more time. Thank you, everybody, for organizing this. Cheers, Hammer. Thank you.
All right, who's next?
Thank you.
You're on? No, who's next on deck?
Who's next on deck? All right.
Got little Mike here. Hi. I don't know if you know me, Wizard of Oz. Hi. God, I miss you all. How are you doing? I met these lunatics when, walking into their music store, and they just invited me to some shows. I went to some shows while shopping, shopping for the best records in the world. It's only rock and roll. Jerry helped me out a few times with my band whenever I could get them together, keep them together whenever the hell I could. But okay, no problem. There you go. Okay, can you do it? Okay. Yeah, Jerry would help me out with with my band whenever I could try to keep them together. It was ridiculous, But I don't know what else to say other than that he was the coolest, sweetest, biggest hearted guy in the world, and he let me do whatever I wanted on stage. He didn't care. He was just the best, and I don't know what else to say except that I'm just gonna miss him so much, and I just so glad that Peter's here after all he's been through and everything. I just love those guys so much. They're like twins, even though they're not twins. But I love you, Jerry. I miss you so much, and you're the best. Thank you.
Thank you. Jezzo, you up?
Hi, everybody. Oh, hello? Hello? Jerry has been in our lives since I'm like 15, 16 years old. He's been always looking out for us. They were like, you're not allowed in here, you're too young, and he used to get me in. And, okay.
Excuse me, people, can you keep it down? Please keep it down. Thank you.
Hey.
Get loud, Jezzo. We know you got it.
And what was great about it is he was such a gentleman. You never felt like he was gonna play. He was just the best kind of human, and he would take people under their wing and make sure they were safe. For someone who was a runaway like I was, and then he would always come support my band when I was younger, and most of my gigs that I played with my new band is because of him. He put on these shows, and what a loss to this community, but now I feel like he's watching over us all the time. I really love Jerry. He's very special in my heart. And who else wants to say something nice about our friends? Trying to think of something crazy stories, but you're escaping me. Okay, someone else is gonna come say something. Come on, Scott. Scotty.
All right, can anybody hear me? I know how to be loud.
I can also growl.
Anyway. Hello! There you go. Anyway, so when I first met Jerry, I was like a young vagabond punk, living on the street, couch surfing, working in an after-hours club, going to Limelight all the time. From Limelight, I know.
Give it back up!
Shut up! You're so disrespectful.
Keep it down!
I hope this happens at your memorial.
No. Anyway, okay. We're here for love, right? Because we love Jerry. We're not here for any of that other stuff. So anyway, when I first met him, like, you know, they treated me like I was family. Him, Steve, and Z, you know. They used to, like, I don't know, we used to party together all the time. Anyway, so when I got older, he gave me my first show at R Bar with my band. Then he gave me my first show at Kenny's Castaways with my band. And, you know, he was always there giving somebody a chance, you know, and that's what Jerry was all about. I also always remember he had a bulletproof vest on, so I felt safe around him. You know, you can't go wrong hanging out with the guy with the bulletproof vest, although you don't have one on, but at least you know he has your back. And that's the one thing you could say about Jerry. He's always had everybody's back, you know? And, you know, I love him, respect him. I wish I got to see him. I wish I had gotten to see him one more time. But, you know, he's here with us now in this room. I could see it, except for the rudeness, but, you know. This is what we're here for, so, you know, let's pay tribute to Jerry. And love you, man. Rock the heavens, man. Protect all the dead rock stars.
Thanks, Scott. Guys, can everybody keep it down a little bit? I know it's a bar, and I know everybody wants to talk, but it's kind of really disrespectful, you know, that we're trying to, like, yeah, you want to talk, go outside. But do not forget to tip the bartender, of course, you know. So he's taking care of everybody here, so do not forget him. But yes, please keep it down, because it's really hard for people in the back to hear what some people are saying. And it means something. So just keep it down. So, all right, who would like to come up next? Come on up. Remember, keep it down, people.
Oh, that's for me. Hello. I knew Jerry for a long time, from the 80s. I wouldn't even know where I first met him, but it was most probably at an after hours or somewhere getting drunk. But the best time I had with him, and what made him the happiest, and I think it sums up the type of personality that Jerry was I took him out with all my mates that are Irish. We met up an Irish bar, and I told him before he came and met us that we were going to be hanging out with Jerry Adams. Now this is around the troubled times, you know, when the English and Irish were not meant to be getting on. So I had Jerry in the bar full of Irish people and showing his ID to prove that he's really Jerry Adams. And all my mates to this day say they met Black Jerry Adams, you know. And he was like, at first he's like, I can't believe you're doing this to me. You know, he was like bent out of shape. But the type of person he was he could mix with anyone. And to be honest with you, he said to me that was some of the best time he had, because he wasn't expecting to be that well received when it wasn't about music. It was about talking and having fun and being who you are, and people still wanting to be around you. There was no like fanciness. We were talking football, we were talking anything.
By the way, great t-shirt.
Yeah, this is the one I wore as a waiter in Limelight. It's that old. So we're going back to the 80s. I stopped waiting, I think, in 1990, but I've had it since the 80s. But anyway, it sums it up to me that, you know, he was colorless, he was everything. He wasn't. There wasn't anything that, you know, you could say that he didn't like any type of person. If you were a cunt, you were a cunt, basically. So, you know, that's, you know, he could tell who's good people before he met them. And I loved him for that, and I miss him terribly. Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Oh, yeah, say your thing back.
All right, next. Somebody? Mo? Got a story?
Oh, you go. I'm the backup. Yeah, it's on. There you go.
Hello, friends. Jerry. Gosh, what can I say about Jerry? He was one of my first friends at the Ritz. I was newly graduated from high school, new to the city, looking for a job. I was 17 years old, kind of like hanging outside of the Ritz. I was like, should I go in, see if they're hiring? And he sees me kind of like hesitating, and he's like, hey, what you doing? I was like, I'm looking for a job. And he kind of like grabbed me by the wrist, and he like brought me into Mike Scapino's office. That's another story. But yeah, I started waitressing, and then they realized that I was a minor. So I kind of got demoted to the coat check room. And then I kind of finagled my way.
Before you did the coat check.
That's right, I did the turnstile.
memory.
Yes, good one. Like 85, 86?
Yes, because I remember going there. Jerry.
Yep, that was me. And as a minor, Jerry would always get me into other clubs like Cat Club. You know, he was always just the one person that always looked out for everybody. He always watched everybody's back. He was like the protector. He was a big brother. He was a friend. And I love Jerry. I miss him so much. And he's like one of my fondest memories of the Ritz. And here's to Jerry. Yeah.
Thank you, Mo.
Here, I'll let you do it.
Want me to put that on?
You wonder how I know that Mo used to do the turnstiles. It was because I used to do the pin stand, you know, table right behind her in the lobby. So I used to look at her rear for the whole show. So that's why I remember. So I think one thing we can all agree on is that the Ritz was the best club of all time.
Yes.
And the Ritz, specifically the Ritz from about 84 to about till when they went uptown. And the Ritz had a kind of mixed reputation. It was known for its bouncers, and if you didn't act the right way, you might end up bouncing down those stairs all the way out, you know, and so it had a kind of mixed reputation. But Jerry, he was the face of the Ritz. He was a nice guy. He was what made it human. It was what made it welcoming, and he was the personality of the Ritz, and that's why we all, you know, love him so much. And I'm pissed off about him dying, I'll be honest, because, you know, there was talk of making a Ritz movie, and I even shot a couple of interviews, and he died before I could shoot an interview with him. And I wanted to ask him questions like, Jerry, was it you who pulled Chuck Berry off Keith Richards? You know, those kind of things, you know, and now we'll never know, you know, how many closets, skeletons in closets went down with Jerry, you know. Yeah, he never talked. I would have got it out of him. I would have got it out of him, you know. But anyway, too late now, but we wish him all the best wherever he is.
Thank you. All right. Anybody? Lucy, would you like to say something? All right, that's okay. That's not a problem. All right. Well, I don't want to force anybody or make anybody feel uncomfortable.
Back on you then.
All right. I'm not really a talker. All right. So anyway, I guess I'll tell my little quick Jerry story, which people, thank you again. So I know everybody here is probably really excited about seeing old friends that they haven't seen for a long time, because a lot of people have been, not seeing each other since the Ritz days. So actually, me and Mike just gave me my drink here. Thank you. And I think I'd like to propose a toast.
One more thing.
All right, Peter, one more thing.
Hey, just one more thing. You do know that this is just an informal gathering. We're going to have a big show with a lot of bands. Mike Waller, Stephen Z, and I are in the process of putting it together. We'd love to give you a date for that right now. But there will be a tribute, and there'll be lots and lots of music that day. All kinds of other stuff. And a much better PA.
Thank you. And in defense of my little PA, I didn't think there were going to be this many people here, and I didn't even think of bringing this speaker until today. So, I mean, it would have been a lot worse if I didn't bring it. And next time, even though I don't want to mention next time with any of that, but thank you again for coming. Anyway, I met Jerry at the Ritz also. People, you're getting loud again. Thank you. All right. So anyway, I met Jerry at the Ritz in 1989 when it moved uptown and I started working there. My first show there was Suicidal Tendencies and Creator. It was very memorable, and me and Jerry, we've been buddies ever since, from every club that I've known that he's worked in since then. And we've kept in touch, and it's he was one of the best guys that I knew. And for being a security guy, I don't know how he got away with it, because he was so nice, Usually it's like you gotta be mean and toss people. That's crazy. Maybe that's why he started wearing the bulletproof vest. See, you got another story here, Mike.
I have a couple of stories. One of them is going to be the Suicidal Tendencies show that he started at. Jerry and I were down in the pit, and we kept seeing all these people trying to get up on the stage dive. So the security's grabbing them, dragging them down through the barricade, throwing them out the back door. So I come up with the bright idea, somebody's foot hit the barricade, I got under it and I flipped them backwards. Well, now Jerry does the same thing on the other side of the stage. Turned out they didn't give a shit about getting on stage as long as they got a good dive out of it, and me and Jerry throwing them up in the air worked.
All right, so anyway, I met him back then at that first show, and we were buddies ever since. And like I said,
a really good guy, and a really, I guess he got away with all the security stuff just because his size, you know, he was kind of intimidating. He didn't have to be mean. But anyway, I just want to raise a glass to Jerry and everybody else. Again, to Jerry. Thank you.
Everybody really shut the hell up. Not fucking around. Shut up. 5 minutes. Take a breath, all right?
You don't have to. All right, so yes, very shortly, very shortly. All right, I really know Jerry would appreciate seeing everybody here. Would you? It's you know, it's hard. Like I said, I'm not a talker, you know. I'm not. This is the most I've talked all year. So you guys, you're the ones dealing with it. And the more tequila I have, the worse it's gonna get. So anyway, you know, not to take anything away from Jerry, you know, because this is a Jerry thing, but I just want to mention a quick word. People in the back, can you keep it down a little bit? Thank you. All right, just before we continue with any Jerry memories or anything, like I said, I hope this isn't inappropriate, but being we're all here from the Ritz family, I believe just about the majority of the people here, I just want to mention all of these other people that are not with us anymore. And, you know, I'm sure there's a lot more that I don't remember because I just started the list right today. But I got a bunch of people here, and I just like to mention their names just so, you know, it's Memorial Day next weekend. Why not? So anyway, we got my buddy Artie Mays, who's been gone a little while now. He was on the stage crew with me. We had Alexa, who just passed this year. We had Melina, who I believe she passed last year. Jeff Danziger. We had Rocky, who was one of the stage guys also. We had Harry Martinez, Jerry Brandt, Gene Shaw, Ray Bees, Mike Scapino, Steve Kendall, and Big Steve. So I hope if I forgot anybody that it's all the way up, George. And I even tried it in that channel. It's not any better. So anyway, I really, you know, all those people on that list were friends of mine, except Jerry Brandt, but I heard he started the Ritz. And so it's definitely worth mentioning his name. You know, if he didn't start it, I'm sure all of these relationships that we're, you know, speaking to and about everything today wouldn't have happened. So, you know, here's to him and all of our other Ritz family that isn't with us anymore. So, George, anything?
No, just thanks everybody for coming. Thank you for putting this on. It's a beautiful thing.
Sounds much better too now, George.
We appreciate Jesse also volunteering the space for us to use here today. And I'm hoping somebody else got some stories here, memories, anything? A Jerryism? All right, so I'm going to put the mic down a little while. If anybody feels like coming up and saying anything, it's here. All I got to do is turn up the volume to this low volume again. So, again, I appreciate everybody showing up, and I'm sure Jerry does. And have a drink. Thank you.